I think the same thing, and it's kind of a segue over, but I think the same thing about like college too. When people talk about like prestigious colleges or whatever, or like community colleges, like why does it matter? Like the information is the same. Yeah, like they're not giving you wrong information at a community college. They're not like, oh, you only paid $10,000, so here Abraham Lincoln was like an alien. Like no, they don't say stuff like that.
Like I tell people I went to IUPUI and they go, oh.
You know what? I tell people I went to Purdue because I don't even want to deal with it because I have a Purdue degree. I have the same curriculum that if I would have went up to West Lafayette.
It's just cheaper.
Yeah, it's just cheaper. Just because I didn't decide to sleep on campus and have the college experience. You mean failing? That's the college experience. That's the college experience. Let's talk about it.
Like I had to retake one of my math classes, or no, not my math class. It was political theory because I didn't study enough.
Oh Lord. I don't know. That stuff bothers me. The whole status thing in general, just as a people, I think it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah.
I think we care too much about what other people think about us that we don't even care about what we're doing. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think I get that. I feel like it's always been like that.
Oh, it has. It has been. It's just more like out in the open now because of social media.
Yeah, or like people get looked down on because they go to Ivy Tech.
I love that when somebody is they're trying to learn things. They're trying to expand their knowledge. Like I think that's amazing.
Yes. Why not? Like if I could go back and redo it, I would get my core classes done at Ivy Tech and then transfer over.
Oh, absolutely. By the time I graduated college, I had $40,000 worth of debt.
Think about that for a second. Where is all that money going to?
I don't know.
Exactly.
But think about this. You pay $40,000 to get a $40,000 job. So you're going to get debt to pay off your debt. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous.
I tell all my students, go into trade school. Become an electrician. You're going to have basically no debt. You're going to go to school for 2 years, and you're going to come out making much more than I am as a teacher.
Or be smart about it. Do your research. You know, if you get 4 rides to college, go. Because, it is an experience. It is something that I'd say I'm very glad I did. But it's one of those things, do you need college? No. And at the same time, going to college does not make you smarter than anyone else. So if you're out there and you have a degree and you think you're better than anyone, you're widely mistaken.
Humble yourself.
Yes, please. Exactly. Humble yourself. Because you're not smarter.
I wouldn't say for my students.
I mean, for real.
16 years old.
I mean, people can teach you. It's not about, where you went or what education you have. Just be open. If you're open to learn stuff, like, you'll be fine. Like, I don't know. Nothing ever bothers me when people try to teach me stuff. But there's certain people I point something out. And even just, like, in my line of work, like, there's certain people who are like, oh, like, they feel so prestigious. And I feel like, oh, I know more than you, so I can tell you, whatever. It's like, no. I might know something that you might not know. And you might know something I might not know. We might know the same thing, and that's okay. Learning. Yeah, let's see how we can bounce these ideas off of each other and, like, become something more. But, again, people tend to be too uptight about that type of stuff.
Back to that college bit. We were looking, because you can go online and look at the U.S. debt calculator.
Oh, no.
The student loan debt in the United States right now, and it's growing really fast. It's like $1.6 trillion.
Oh no.
Think about that.
That's bad. That's bad. And we contributed to it. Think about that.
And when you go to IUPUI, like they're building all this new stuff, not to call out IUPUI only. Most colleges do this.
No, yeah, it's all universities.
You pull onto Michigan Road.
Yeah.
They just built up these big new statue things that say IUPUI, and it's all grand, and I'm like, that's where my tuition went.
Yeah.
That's it. Right there. Yeah. Or to build that new parking garage that, I don't get to use because I graduated. I'm not allowed on campus unless I pay.
Well, I don't know if you've been out long enough, but I actually got something probably a couple weeks ago from IUPUI. And it was basically like, here's this form, like, here, donate money.
Yes.
I was like, no?
Yeah.
How about no?
Yeah, it's like, no, you took my $40,000.
Yeah, you took my $40,000. You have plenty.
Yeah, that's more.
And you have all these other kids $40,000. So I'm okay. But thank you. Like,
I almost wonder sometimes if I should have picked a field where I knew I was going to make more money. Like, been super, not to call out people, but just been basic and done a business degree.
Right. Well, I would say this as well, and this is something that I talked to someone the other day, a couple people, who have business degrees, and they say that it's actually not as special as it used to be.
What, having a business degree?
Having a business degree. They say it's so general that it really doesn't do anything for you, and you really need to expand upon that. I mean, degrees are good. The best thing I would say about a degree is that, like, it's almost like a golden ticket to get you in a door. You know,
getting through that door is hard.
It is, and without that, I think people have a hard time, like, weeding through resumes. But
how many jobs did you apply for? Like, cause I remember you were doing your job.
Yes. After I graduated, and I had a bachelor's degree, a bachelor's of science in computer graphic technology, and I applied for 300 plus jobs.
That's crazy.
And I got two interviews, and I got hired for one.
How long of a time period was that? 300 over.
So I graduated in August of 2017. Mm-hmm. I didn't get a job until I don't even know. Well, no, I was applying for jobs while I was still in.
I'm getting ready.
Because I started a full-time job as a pre-press technician. And so
was that at that one place?
Yeah, the print shop. Yep. Yeah. I worked 3 to midnight. So I was working full-time and going to college. And I worked full-time and took 26 credit hours. Fun fact. I was a maniac my last semester. So I had a full-time gig, but I wanted to do something in the graphics. Yeah. So from March until August, I did that. So when I finally got my degree, I got an internship at a roofing company as one of their designers.
Mm-hmm. We won't say the names.
Yeah, we won't say names. But I got hired on there, and I worked there for about a month and a half, and then I actually got to full-time. So from like
you liked
May.
That job at first, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a good place. I just think
I
that.
know you had differences with.
Yeah, we just yes, we had our differences, but it was a great learning opportunity. But so yeah, it took me like 3 months, like 3 or 4 months.
It's crazy to think about though, like because you had that job during school. So like if I'm somebody looking at a resume, right. I'm like, this kid, was working full time, doing 26 credit hours. Like, why would I not hire you? I know you can handle a good workload.
Well, this is the secret. This is what I've learned as I've gotten a little bit older and a little bit more experience. Businesses only care about you as much as like how much money they can make off of you. That's all they care about.
I mean, that makes sense.
And if you can't make them a profit, doesn't matter how valuable you are. It has to do with how much profit you can bring them in. That's why a lot of salespeople make a lot of money.
Yeah, because they're valuable.
Because they create their own value by making high profits for companies, and then they get a percentage of that profit. Designers are not those type of people. We do a lot of valuable work, but it's not necessarily. It's not very like.
I feel like that's harder to trace. Like,
yes,
you brought me in X amount of money as compared to a salesman.
It's not measurable.
Yeah,
it's not measurable.
Yeah,
because a good design that brought in $50,000, is it the design, or is it the promotion on the design? There's no way to tell.
Yeah,
there's no only way to tell that is if you did like a survey, and then based upon that survey, like companies don't want to do. They don't care.
That costs money.
They don't care. They say, this person's bringing us in money, so let's pay them more. Yeah. And that's fine. I get that. If I was running a business, I would feel similar. If somebody's not bringing me in money, I don't need them. But people need to be able to see this and be able to learn that you have to create your own value when you try to get jobs, especially after college. Because if you think that just having a degree or being smart, or being hardworking, that is a funny one. That is a funny one to me. When people say, I am hardworking, and they put it on the resume or the cover letter, that is laughable. And I know people out there probably like, why wouldn't it be? A lot of people work hard. A lot of people do work really hard, but that does not make you valuable. Because somebody who works really hard and somebody who gets a lot of results are two different things. Because you can work really hard and do nothing all day. Nothing productive.
I never thought about that.
Yes. I can sit here and say, I'm going to work really hard and breaking down this wall behind me. And I could be hitting it with a spoon. Working hard. Working very, very hard. But if somebody says, I have a machine that can cut this wall down in 5 minutes,
then
no one really cares about the hard work. People care about how you can get the job done as fast as possible and as right as possible. So you need to be able to swing that in a way and say, I can get the job done. But the only way to say that is to know what the job is, understand the job, and really be able to deliver on it. That's where people really struggle, is to connect those dots of like creating their own value. Like for me as a designer, like I have to think about what is going to pull the audience in.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to make them look at my design over anything else?
Oh, and take
I need to click on this.
Yeah.
Because there are certain things that you can measure as a designer. Like for me, if like on websites, a lot of my designs go on our website,
Mm-hmm.
and so you can trace those by clicks.
Mm-hmm.
So if something gets 1,000 clicks, then I know that this thing is booming.
So
If something
on
gets
your website and
just start clicking things, click on my designs,
Be like,
and
help my man
I'll be
out.
getting a raise. Yeah. But that's the thing about it is like you have to figure out a way to measure how valuable you really are. And you need to think about that depending on whatever you're doing for work. You need to think about how can I measure what I'm doing? And I mean, that's your best bet of growing and expanding.
Yeah,
it's not hard work. I'm sorry. I really wish it was. I wish it was.
Well, and it was like when I come out of school and I'm trying to get a teaching job, like I would have these interviews that would go great.
Yeah.
Like I walked out of the parking lot, or walked out of the school building in the parking lot, threw my hands in the air, and I was like, yes, like, I'm going to get the
You
job.
breakfast clubbed it.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, I got it. And then I get a call, and they go, well, we decided to pick someone else. And I would go, okay, is there anything that I can do differently with future job interviews that would maybe help me? And they go, oh, no, your interview was great. We just picked someone else because of experience.
Experience does go a long way. It does go a long way.
Yeah, and so I'm just sitting there like, okay, like it was 2 weeks before the start of the school year before I got hired, which I'm very thankful I did. I love my school, but I was sitting there facing the possibility I'm going to have to sub full time and bring in maybe $80 a day.
Yeah,
which is not enough to survive on.
No.
No. Especially when you got student loan debt, which is very real.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very real.
Yeah. This is always weird. If you could go back to those college days, would you go back? Like with the knowledge you have now?
No.
No? Why not?
If I could go back to being 18, no, I was 17 when I started. If I can go back to being 17 and had the option of starting college or starting my own business, I would start my own business. 100%. Because right now, my business would be booming. Businesses usually
had 6 years of growing. And
businesses start to pick up and profit after about 2 years. And then it only expands more and more, as long as you're doing what you need to do. Because within the first year of starting a business, it's not profitable. Just statistically speaking.
Just treading water.
Yeah. You pretty much work for free. You put in so many hours. But you're basically building the foundation of what you do. And once you get there, once you build that foundation, usually it pretty much automates itself. There's not as much work that goes into it. So, yeah. If at 17 I started my own business, right now I'd be making a lot more money than I'm making right now. And I wouldn't have had the debt. So any money I would have made would have been profit.
I know we've talked about it. Wish I would have explored the military route more.
Yeah, I can see that.
But then I also go, man, I'm glad that I don't live in,
Yeah.
Kuwait.
I mean, I have a lot of buddies that are actually shipped out to, they're in Japan. They have a base out there.
That'd be cool.
I don't know if I can give that information. What if we're not supposed to have a base in Japan? I don't know.
No, we are.
Okay, we're good.
But, or just get stationed in Europe or something. That would be cool.
I mean, it's hit or miss.
And it is very hit or miss, especially because your life is dictated by somebody else at that point. Which
see, I don't like authority very much. Not in a rebellious way. I like to control my own life.
Have your own thoughts.
Yeah, I like to have my own thoughts and opinions, and I think with military and I think you start to kind of hive mind. You really have to have everyone's back. You have to become a unit and really focus on how can we benefit
What's
each
good
other?
for the unit,
Yeah.
not for me.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's great. I think that's
Mhm.
amazing, and that's a great mentality to have. I just think that that's something that, for me, it just doesn't really fly with my personality type.
I always tell students who don't know what they want to do with their life or who I think need quote unquote guidance,
Mhm.
I say, why don't you go join?
Yeah.
They'll give you a job, you'll make some money, you get some structure in your life, they'll teach you valuable skills you'll use for the rest of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll just start to wrap it up here.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap it up. I think we've had a
Good first show.
we had a very productive session.
It was.
Yeah.
We got way off topic.
No such thing as off topic. Not on don't quote me on this. And we'll have some pretty cool special guests on here.
Oh.
Yes, I'm very excited. Very, very excited to have some guests on here.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have a lot more content coming through. And if there's any suggestions or anything that anybody wants us to talk about or know about, feel free to comment anything that you want to know.
Join our Patreon.
Yeah, sure. Join our Patreon. Follow us on Instagram, and you can email us too at our Gmail account. So I guess until next time on Don't Quote Me on This. We'll see you next time.
Cool, sounds good. See you.